Sure, exactly. And he's also going to be saving up a battery and deploying that battery to try to defend as much as possible.
And then that should work. Oh, there we go. Hello everyone. Welcome to 2S Tier 2. I'm joined with Tier 2 manager Vito. I don't even know how to say your name. That's embarrassing. How you doing? You alright?
I'm good. How about yourself?
I'm good. 16 drivers on the grid at the minute. I don't know if I expect anyone to join during quali.
Yeah, we should get 2 more people, but they are having issues at the moment. They have invites if they want to join. They will join once their game is fixed.
We do love a quality Codemasters game. Well, 16 drivers at the minute. I'll run through those in a moment. But yeah, new season. We're following the I guess the F1 2021 calendar, besides the new tracks which haven't been added to the game yet, which will hopefully be in here by October. So, start off the season in Bahrain. Hopefully the stream's alright and the audio's alright. Let me know if anything's too loud, too quiet. I will just ping audio down to 1 or 2 just so you guys can definitely hear me. There we go. Cool. Well, do you want to run through the drivers on the grid, or do you want me to do that? I only know a few of them, so.
If you can do it, I'm trying to get the less people in.
So we'll go from top to bottom on this list. We've got Ponweed in the Alpine, who's moved up from Tier 3 for this season. Futuristic Reservin, he's a Tier 3 driver, came 3rd in Bahrain on Tuesday. Pandikoi, no idea who that is. Jamie, also have no idea who that is. Curse is another Tier 3 driver reserving for Tier 2. Kalkin Man, I think that says. Don't know who that is. MAAALI Mali. No idea who that is. We've got 2S Bance, obviously the owner of 2S. Pretty slow driver, if you ask me. We've got Pixel as well jumping in. We've got Wimpy, who is pretty good at racing. He's I think he's been Tier 2 last season as well, I think. There's a lot of pace. We've got Larson, another good, strong driver. I don't know who that is. Alexander won Tier 3 Bahrain on Tuesday. Legend, another very quick driver. Probably, from what I know, the quickest on the grid at the minute. We'll be hoping for a good start of the season. Then we've got TRT Best Mate, also don't know who that is, and TSX Bogdan. So a lot of drivers on the grid that I have no idea who they are. We will hopefully prove a good point today, and we'll get some good racing. But we'll go over to I think it's Alexander. Will be the first to complete his lap around on the Bahrain circuit. A couple of yellow flags, but I think that's just people slowing down to create a gap for cars. Strategy is very different on this track. There's a lot of different strategies you can do. Looking like a lot of people opting for the soft hard strategy or the 2-stop. A couple of people on those mediums who will have to pull out a pretty good time to get in the top 10 on those. As we have Alexander come around the final turn to set the first lap time of the qualifying session. He's going to cross the line, set a 1:25.3, so a very good banker lap, and Ponweed to follow straight after, set a 1:26.2. And Best Mate beats that, does a 1:24.9. Very good open lap. So we've got a few more cars now crossing the line. We've got the house of Leonard Kalman, goes 27.2, not the quickest out lap. Jamie in the McLaren goes 3rd with a 1:25.4. We've got a couple other runners getting some low 27s. Wimpy sets a 1:26, and that looks like Mali, who's just crossed the line and taken 2nd with a 25.3, just a little bit quicker than Alexander. Legend goes 6th on the mediums with a 26.0, and his teammate just behind with a 26.1 in the Alpine. Next up, Futuristic to cross the line. Sets a 1:26.3. Not the fastest lap. He definitely has a lot more in his locker. As we have another driver join there. And Panda goes to start their lap. We've got Suika coming around the third sector now. The last of those who haven't had a run yet to set a lap. On the medium tyres, crosses the line. 29.9. He's going to need to knock quite a bit of time off that if he wants to get into the top 10. When you get a second here, do you just want to have a look at the shoe and make sure it's not lagging or anything?
Yep, I'm gonna do it right now. It's unfortunate we can't have a opening race without
Issues.
some issues, yeah.
I guess we'll jump on board with Larson then.
Stream is approximately 5 FPS.
Really?
Yeah.
Do you want to switch over? Or?
Yeah, I could take over real quick. Did you take over the issues then?
Yeah, I'll do whatever you need me to do. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll be back for you in just a second. Obviously, can't have a race. Do you have any issues with? I'll check. What the stream. I'm not live anymore, so. Why is it so laggy? It wasn't like this last time. Yeah, there you go, shows now. There's a lot there. You're chilling. Cool. Yeah, his red light's on at the bottom right. He's used all his fuel, he's just rolling to the pit lane. And the McLaren and the Mercedes behind him though, Panda Koi, I think is on the lap. Oh, he's jumping into the pits. It's a very good banker though. That is a very quick lap. Looks like the Mercedes down in 18th having a few issues as well. He just spun going out of or going into the S's in sector 2. Looks like he's struggling to get the handles of the car. Futuristics about to cross the line. He's 2.5 temps up in sector 2. Can he improve? Crosses the line. Goes, well, I think he stays 9th. He improved by 3 temps. He might have jumped up 2 positions. That was what I was just looking at. I was trying to figure out what strategies people were running in Tier 3. I think, well, medium hard's the strongest, and then, well, it doesn't look like many people are opting for the mediums. Yeah, probably a soft hard 2-stop is good if you have the pace. But yeah, I think there'd be a lot of soft hards and a lot of maybe a safety car needed for people to get those hards to the end, because I reckon there'll be a lot of people going for the undercut and then having really dead softs at the end, close to puncher territory. So, alright, it'll be interesting to see what people do. But yeah, I think I'll go with what you said. The soft hard strategy probably being the most common among the grid. Looking at the times we have, there's a lot of people have struggled on their first few laps. So I think mediums are 100% doable if you can get that lap together. As yeah, Banter's 1.2 seconds up at the minute, so not enough to jump into that top 10. But for all we know, there's a lot of time in this third sector. It's like Panda Koi just behind you on top to third as well. I didn't even think we realised Bogdan took pole. I didn't notice. He jumps pole to a 24-7. I don't know if you said anything about that or not. It looks like some very quick drivers jumping into the 24s. As Legend goes pole with a 24.6. That's the Legend we know. That is a very, very good lap time there from him as he now crawls back to the pits. He's got no fuel again from the looks of it. The red light's flashing in the bottom right. It's that, or he's saving his tyres. As some with the Williams as well. The Williams isn't the nicest car to look at, but in the well, personally, I don't think it's the nicest. But in the night, in the Bahrain lights, it looks amazing. Here's a good question for you. What do you prefer, the current Mercedes livery or the old Silver Arrow? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I agree. I think silver is just clean, and it's I think just the Mercedes brand is just silver in it. I don't know. Well, Pixel's now going onto a lap on the mediums, so let's see if he can jump into the top 10. His initial time was on the softs, I believe, so I think he knows there's more time in his lap, and he's going to try and do that on the mediums. I think if you can get into the top 10 on mediums at the minute, you're in a very good position. with everyone else being on softs, you can take advantage of the longer life on those medium and hard tyres. Oh, yeah, the curves are deadly. Curves are horrible in this game. If you touch the wrong curve, or I feel like if you turn on a curb at all, it's very easy to spin. So yeah. It does make it interesting though, doesn't it? Like during the race, everyone's a lot more cautious. I can tell you, I definitely pay a lot more attention now than what I did on the 2020 game when racing, making sure I don't touch certain curves and stuff. Wimpy just warming up his tyres there. A lot of people coming out the pits now on fresh softs, so I think it will be quite difficult to get into that top 10 on the mediums as Bance jumps onto some softs. And I presume Pixel will do the same. But there's only 40 seconds left to quali for me. Obviously, F1 has a big bug where it's like, yeah. And Ponlead just improved his time up to 9th of 25.8. I think Wimpy will be the next person from what I can see to set a lap. I think best mate in the McLaren was on a lap, but he backed out of it after sector 2 and is now joining the last of the queue. So I think it is Wimpy who will be the first person to set their last final lap, as he is up on his sector 1 time. I didn't catch how much there, but I saw he was up. He comes through sector 2 onto the curb where we saw Pixel spin at the lap before. I mean, he's got a very decent time. It's a very competitive time. Wimpy's up 3 tenths from the sector 2 as he comes around to come across the line. Wimpy's final time. Can he improve to go up? He improves, but he stays in 8th. He can jump. Futuristic. Panda stays 4th. Bogdan stays 2nd. I think next will be Suka in 18th, goes into the pits. So next will be TRT to cross the line, goes pole with a 24.5, very quick lap. His teammate doesn't improve, neither does Alex. Next is the Haas of, that's Curse, stays 11th, and Kalkenman stays in 16th. I think that's everyone. And that is the finishing positions for quali. 24.5 taken pole. I think that's what I was guessing earlier for the top pole time. But that's a very competitive time there for the McLaren. 10th quicker than Legend down in 2nd. But there's a lot of pace in this tier. Very close. A lot of low 25s and high 24s up in the top 10. Kind of embarrassing that I didn't know what the Romanian flag looked like. I was trying to find that on Google. Well, I won't lie. I didn't know what flag it was. I didn't know he was Romanian. I thought that guy was English. Yikes. Well, yeah. So everyone on the softs in the top 10. TRT busmates left. Yeah. Hopefully he can get back in. Or not. Hopefully not. Pole position will drop straight down to the bottom of the grid. Well, we'll wait here for 10 seconds. Oh, they could at least show us the grid for this screen here. Nothing interesting in the pits besides the crew sitting in their chairs. And he's gone. Look, what an incredible start from the McLaren there. We'll go to tyres. So everyone in the top 10 on the softs. You got Kirsten 11th on the softs as well. Then from 12th to 15th, they're on the mediums, and you got two soft runners at the bottom of Kalkenman and Simsoars. I don't know what that is. And then Suika on the mediums. There's some interesting names in here, aren't there? I mean, if yours is small, mine doesn't exist, but yeah. I'm surprised there wasn't a hard runner. I feel like if there's no safety car, starting on the hards first, everyone else is just burning their tyres off. You'll have the spanking new fresh tyres at the end for just pure pace. Well, do you want to should we predict who's going to win this race, or do you not want to do that? I don't know. I think TRT best mate's back in his car, and it doesn't look ghosted to me. Oh no, it is definitely ghosted. Oh, he has joined yet. So hopefully he's in for the start. Oh, I think TNT, Best Mate, and Legend are going to race each other very hard. I reckon it'll be one of the top three to win, unless some sort of safety car comes out really early. Then I reckon we could see one of the medium runners take advantage of that. You doing the race start? Oh, if you want to do it, you can do it. That's fine. I'll let you do it. Oh! I think Wimpy spun on the start as well. Yeah, and Best Mate's left the session. His AI is taking control again. Oh, and the front Ferrari. He spun. A lot of spins off the start. I think Bestmate, I don't think his AI warmed his tyres up properly. I think his tyres were just stone cold as soon as he joined, because I think he nearly spun like 4 times in the space of 4 corners. But luckily, no one's dead. Legend in the lead. Oh no. So everyone's just listening to me like, well, he's not commentating. That's not my fault. Vito was talking.
Should be good now.
Or not.
That's awkward.
That is very awkward. Oh, we move. Curse up 7 positions then. At the end of lap 1, up into 4th. That's a very good start for Curse.
Vito Bossman, are you streaming by any chance?
Yeah, I already fixed it.
Okay. Well, that's
Very
it then.
awkward.
Alright, good luck, boys.
Cheers.
Alright, and we continue now with on board with the Williams, who are going side by side. Let's go on board with Bogdan. And actually Alexander goes through. Bogdan gets a 3-second time penalty, so because the Williams were fighting, the Alfa Romeo of Alexander could just pass and is now into the lead.
Yeah,
So
that's a nice move. The
nice
Williams
move.
are just not working as a team, both fighting for the position, and Alexander just took advantage of that. And the Tier 3 driver into the lead as the Mercedes in the background. Pandacoy nearly lost it, nearly took Pondlead with him. Managed to save it as they go side by side. And it looks like one of the McLarens off the track in
I
Sector
believe
1.
that is Jamie, spun after turn 3. As
Managed to
he did
warm
hit
those
the
mediums
wall.
up, I don't think.
I think he came out a bit too quickly on throttle. Doesn't look like he have any damage. So that's good. Let's go back to the fight.
McLaren's having the worst possible start possible. What did I just say? The worst start possible for the McLarens.
Yeah, the McLaren's definitely not having a good time at the start of the race. Alexander's having the fastest lap with a 1:28.6. He's currently
has
leading
used
the
a
race.
lot of ERS boost.
Now
30%.
DRS is enabled now, so DRS has been opened right now by Legend, who is following Alexander.
And Pixel and Mally going side by side through turn 1. The Ferrari gets ahead on the soft tyres, but Pixel does have the DRS. Could attack back into this turn. Isn't quite close enough. It's nice move from the Ferrari.
As Pixel is on the mediums and Mali is on the softs. So on paper, Mali should be a lot quicker. As someone tapped him on the inside, I believe that's Bestmate who tapped Mali on the inside and went down the inside of Pixel. Which I couldn't really see. And now Bestmate going around the outside of Mali, stays side by side on the exit. Still going side by side. Mali has a DRS, Bestmate doesn't. That's interesting. Bestmate must have been ahead in the DRS detection zone.
Oh, and
But
Jamie's off again in Sector 1. The McLaren into the wall.
Jamie not having a lot of fun, hitting the wall twice in 2 laps. Bestmate really on tail of Mali, of that Ferrari. He might try and stick a move on the straight here. Alex setting another fastest lap. Pixel almost hitting the back of the McLaren of Bestmate, but keeps it. Now Mali doesn't have DRS, Bestmate has DRS. And no ERS usage whatsoever. Makes it pass, and I believe that's Futuristic trying to overtake Pixel there. And what are those camera angles?
Oh, he gets a good exit. Pixel got a better exit, but then Futuristic just got a sudden little boost, and he's now on the inside into the next turn. Brakes later down the inside. Pixel's still not giving up as the Ferrari in the background's also looking for a move on Pixel. If Red Bull gets past, now Pixel and Sim side by side.
What a move
Sim
by
gets
Sim
ahead
Soares.
Of Pixel dropping back on those mediums, but pushing these soft runners will be a benefit for him in the later stage. I don't think we caught it on the last lap, but Panda in the Mercedes did, I think, hit the inside curve of the Sector 3 and went all the way back to 14th. Luckily managed to save the car and keep going. Front 3 though, all staying together.
Sim Soares now getting a 3-second time penalty for track extensions. And
of
Jamie
course,
retiring in the pit lane. Must have been an issue something wrong, didn't feel good, retiring in the pit lane. So we only have 17 cars left now.
Legend using the DRS will look for a move on Alexander into turn 1. He's going to look down the inside, side by side.
They're still all going side by side. Alex held it, but now he has the DRS again. Legend does. And now he's going down the inside, as he didn't use the DRS, I don't think. Still going side by side. Little bit of a snap then from Legend, but he makes the move stick. Alex getting a 3-second time penalty now.
And so it looks like the other McLaren of best mates spun in turn 1.
The McLaren is really not
Bogdan
having
looking down the
fun.
inside of the Alfa Romeo there, and Bogdan up into second place. It went for a really
And
late
someone
dive.
there
And
has
Alexander.
spun. Simsaurus has spun at turn 4 as he left the session.
Oh.
His car is standing still. That's interesting. Bestmate left again. Try and send him an invite again.
Oh, and it looks like the Mercedes of McNally, bro, what are these names? Has had some contact there in Sector 2, and he's left the session as well.
This looks like a typical Codemasters issue where we might have people leaving the lobby, unfortunately. Now, I don't think I even have McKinley on my friends list, which is interesting.
Me either, I don't even know who that is. But yeah, looks like he got caught in an incident, and then he's either left or disconnected, one or the other. But the the Williams of Bogdan, looking down the inside of Legend into turn 1, thinks better of it, backs out of it. The two Williams can work together here and make use of this 1-2. Oh, and Alexander spun off turn 2, touched the inside curb, and he's around.
That's
in
really
Sector 1
unfortunate.
there. Yeah, he had a really good start getting into the lead at one point, but now he's dropped down into 6th, and those tyres will not be in the nicest state. It's very hard to drive after your spin. Your tyres temps are ridiculously high.
That's yeah, that's
Racing the Haas there of Kalkin Man, who he gets ahead and keeps that position. But in a good position here at the minute is Bance on those mediums up in 5th.
Bams definitely had a really good start on those mediums. He's following the Alpine of Pondweed. And it looks like Pondweed doesn't have much ERS, by the looks of it, as his light was flashing at the back of the car, which means he is recharging, because his battery is on 10% or lower. So
Yeah,
this might be a
on
good striking opportunity for Bans, whose mediums are definitely starting to come into play, where the softs are probably going to be boxing within the next few laps. Because they'll be dropping off very hard now.
As we go down the main straight, it looks like Bogdan's looking for a move this time. He uses the DRS, gets the move done before the first turn on Legend. So Bogdan into the lead of the race at the minute. It's the Williams still within 3/10 of each other. I think they have been since the start of the race. And I think they're futuristic looking for a move on the main straight. Down the inside of the Haas driver. Side by side into turn 1.
He had a little bit of a snap, little bit of touch on the outside. Now goes through the gravel, keeps it straight. So there was a little bit of contact. And now he gets overtaken by Pandakoi. Pandakoi sending it down the inside. Very nice move by him. So Futuristic tried to make a move, but then in the end he lost the position because of that. I think we will have a lot of the medium runners now starting to really show their pace on those tires. Band's coming into the straight behind the Alpine again.
It'll be interesting to see what the two... Oh, as it looks like a crash from one of the McLarens again.
That's the McLaren of Bestmate just driving
straight.
That's
Is his wheel disconnected?
I have no clue what's going on.
And into the wall goes Bestmate, and that is a virtual safety car.
VSC. That's questionable.
Yeah,
I wonder if that's
and it's gone to a safety car. So the two Williams now double stacking into the pits. Hopefully that won't affect their order. Curse is still quite far back, but it looks like the McLaren just... Oh, he's back in.
He has been disqualified from the session for standing still.
Maybe some technical issues there from the McLaren team then.
I
Not too sure what's
wonder.
happened there.
I really wonder if that's some tomfoolery by the Codemasters game, or if that's
It might be a hardware issue.
yeah, or if that's a hardware issue.
What is interesting though is Futuristic hasn't gone for the double stack.
Yeah, Futuristic deciding to continue.
Interesting.
On the softs. Now we also have a mix-up of tire choice. We have a couple of people on the hards and a couple of people on the mediums. And also I think that's McKinley and Simsaurus who've both decided to go for fresh softs. So those are... we have a lot of different strategies going on at the moment.
Yeah, the two Williams who were side by side at the start of that safety car. Bogdan's into second, but Legends missed out on 2 places to Curse and Ponwy due to the double stack. He's down to 5th, but both the Williams on the hard tyres. I do wonder what Futuristic's going to do here. Probably going for the double stack would have been a smarter choice. Would have lost a lot less positions there. But it will be interesting. Maybe go a little longer on the softs, try and get a gap from second and go onto the hards to the end for the fresher tyres, but you've got a lot of time to make again.
I think the hards to the end would be quite a stretch, but it might be possible.
I think it's definitely possible. It's just they're going to be so slow towards the end, which is the issue that Curse and Ponweed are going to have here. They're on the mediums. They need to get into the lead of this race like straight away and be gone.
I don't think the pace is even gonna be the issue. I think it's gonna be the high possibility of a puncture towards the end of the race, which is gonna be their biggest enemy. Because towards the end of the race, those hards will be at that puncture territory of 70% and above. And you have been kicked out? Let me see if I can get you an invite. Sent you an invite to the lobby. You there?
Thank you. Yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. That's Now I wonder if that's your connection that you were talking about earlier, or if that's again Codemasters being weird. Suka now has a 5-second time penalty for speeding in the pit lane. That's something you definitely don't want, is speeding in the pit lane under a safety car.
Yeah.
As he goes for the softs. And the Futuristic is continuing. He didn't box even after he came past the pit lane. So Futuristic is still out without a pit stop.
There we go. I'm back in. So Futuristic's staying out. I don't know what that means. Those tyres will be in a horrible, horrible state. He'll have what, like 1 or 2 laps after safety car restart to go?
At best, I would think.
Maybe he just doesn't think the hards are going to make it to the end from here.
Or he is trying to stretch these soft as much as possible and try and go for the soft medium strat. Which has been done this game by some pro drivers, I believe. But he might be trying to stretch them as much as he can.
Yeah. At this point here, I think that's what you have to go for if you want to get anything out of this. If he goes for soft hard, he needs to, what? Hards can do... I think... I don't even know. I don't even know what to say. I reckon he's just going for the late hards. Maybe he doesn't think the hards can get to the end from here. He wants the fresher hards, even though he'll have to make a lot of time back. He'll have the fresh hards to do so. And everyone else will be in puncture territory when he's got a few more laps under his tyres left.
And safety car will be going in this lap, so everyone is caught up. Larson just a tiny bit behind, but it looks like he is at the back of the pack now. So everyone weaving, trying to get the temperature into the tire. And it looks like Futuristic is really not going super harshly weaving on those tires. He's trying to save them a lot. Bogdan trying to stay as alert as he possibly can to try and get him off the start. And let's go on board with Bogdan. And I think Futuristic is going because he saw Bogdan was napping a little bit. And he has built himself a nice little gap. Bogdan boosting, trying to get back up to Futuristic. Will there be any sense down the straight? It looks like Legend is trying to make a move on, I believe that was Pondweed. Didn't seem to happen. And then now he's passed as Pondweed made a little mistake on the exit. So Legend back up into P4. Wimpy overtook Pixel towards the back as well in P11.
Alexander got past Bands and Wimpy, and Mally is side by side through that turn there. Mally gets the better exit. He stays in front of Wimpy down for P10.
I think Simsaurus is a disconnected car, because he is ghosted.
So Futuristic still in the lead. Not really making any time though. On the softs, Hard's behind him. He needs to be gone. He needs to get away from those guys. But if anything, it looks like Bogdan's getting closer. Using the slipstream on the straight, Futuristic can't get away on the soft tyres. 9 laps old, they will be close to puncher territory.
Bogdan is right on his gearbox. He's really looking everywhere where he can make the move. It looks like Futuristic might be boosting a little bit here on the straight. Bogdan deciding to save his ERS, as I think the ERS is enabled, so this should be an easy pass. Futuristic still deciding to go and stay out, as he moved up, but Bogdan still making the move. And I think that's Curse side by side with Futuristic on the exit, and I think Curse made a move as well, so Futuristic got overtaken by 2 cars in 1 corner, which is, let's just say, suboptimal. And Legend going side by side with Futuristic. Legend overtook him as well.
Alexander side by side as well. A little bit of contact between him and the Red Bull, and he's ahead of Futuristic as well. Futuristic down to 5th in 3 turns.
So Futuristic's tires are really dead at this point, and I think he will have to box this lap if he still wants to make a chance of staying somewhere close to the top 5. Because this is evidently not working out for him.
Bogdan has got a penalty, so that will be factored in at the end of the race. If he wants to win this, he needs to make up that 3-second gap, I believe, is what that penalty is. But Curse,
penalties.
Just behind him, 8 temps, needs to stay within that DRS to, well, if he's going mediums to the end, which would be very impressive, he needs to really nurse those tyres and just be really specific with every steer. I don't think mediums can do 20 laps, so there will be another pit stop, I reckon, from him. It's Futuristic. Will he jump into the pits here? He does.
Yes, he does. DRS is enabled. Let's see what tire Futuristic will go on. Looks like the mediums, so he might be actually going for the soft medium strategy. And looks like he had a decent pit stop, but Futuristic now out on the mediums in last. It's gonna be interesting how much he's gonna catch up to the guys in front, because I think the guys on the softs or on the hards,
one of the Ferraris,
gonna pit.
this Mally guy, sorry, off the track. He was got pushed off the track by the Haas, and he was just trying to push his way back onto the track, and those two making contact. But Mally gets through. We have a yellow flag, and that's the Haas driver of Kalkenman, who was racing the Ferrari, has touched the curb and spun in sector 2. So he's down to 15th, Futuristic in 16th.
It is really unfortunate. Again, the curb's really deadly this game. You touch it once wrongly and you are just around and you can't recover from it.
As it looks like he spun again, actually, the Haas. I think he was sideways there on my screen, caught it again though, but his tyre's really warm and he's struggling for any control of the car there. But Curse sticking within that DRS of the Williams ahead. They'll now have DRS for the straight.
Let's see Alexander, because he's really close to Legend. It looks like he isn't using any overtake, so those 4 are just pulling each other up to the front.
And Curse goes for the dive into turn 1 on for first place, side by side. Oh, a bit of contact there, nearly spun, but kept it. He's into the lead, and he got DRS as well. This could leave Bogdan under a bit of pressure from his teammate as Legend look down the inside. Very close to contact there, but keeps in front as Bogdan. It's very close here for the fight for P1.
Those 4 are really close together.
Curse got very lucky not to have got spun around there in turn 1. A bit of contact between him and Bogdan nearly sent both of them off the track. But Curse into the lead on those mediums. Oh, and he gets... Oh, and the four-way Little bang there. Bogdan hits Curse, and that just led to a train behind him. It doesn't look like any wing damage from any of them. Not visible wing damage anyway. As Bogdan looking down the inside of Curse here. He isn't waiting around. He wants that first place back, but Curse gets a better exit. All the way... Oh, sorry, all over the back of Bogdan. And Legend putting Curse under pressure as well. No room for mistakes here from the Haas. Who's going to have the DRS again on this next straight. He is boosting though. Using some boost to get as close to Bogdan as he can. As Alexander was looking down the inside there into the final turn on the Williams of Legend. But Curse will have the DRS again. He's already boosting. As we have a spin in Sector 3. The Haas driver resets the track. But anyway, Curse going for the move into Turn 1 again. And Legend looking for the move.
Oh, and Alex making a really late move.
Down the inside. It looked good, but it doesn't look like it's going to work. He's staying... Oh no, he is getting P3. Gets a better traction. Up into third is Alexander. Bogdan stays in second. That's a really nice late move from Alexander. As we have a spin in Turn 1. One of the Alfa Romeos.
I think that was Suika again. And we got some valuable intel from chat saying that Wimpy, currently in P9, has a light green front wing. So he has picked up some damage.
Damage is horrible in this game. Oh, it looks like Bogdan outbroke himself there.
Oh, and Alex spinning!
Oh, into the
Alex
wall.
spun into the wall on exit, and there is his end plate. He has lots of damage. He will have to change that wing now. Someone breaking the Pirelli board on the side. I don't know who that was. I think that might have been Wimpy.
Bogdan outbroke himself, nearly hit Curse, avoided it, came back onto the track, and then made a bit of contact with Alex and pushed him into the wall. So Bogdan really not getting in the rhythm here. It looks like he's struggling under the pressure of all these cars behind him trying to get past, making a lot of little mistakes which are leading to bigger ones. But Curse into the lead of this race on the medium tyres. Fakes out a pit stop, has Bogdan behind him with the DRS, isn't using any ERS as he doesn't have any left. Is he going to make a move? Thinks better of it. Is Alexander, is he jumping into the pits? He does. Doesn't really have much of a choice. The wing damage in this game is undrivable.
Now the wing damage this game, once you have yellow here in this game, it feels like a red wing from last game. So
I mean, this could
damage
be good.
is really harsh.
Even though Alexander has a longer pit stop for wing, now he's gone. He's got no more pit stops. He's going to the end now. If he can just smash the next 3-4 laps, the undercut's quite strong on this track, and everyone else on dead tyres, he could make some time back here. He just needs to throw in the best 3-4 laps of his life, and he should hopefully get back into this race after people pit. But we'll see. As Curse still under pressure from both of the Williams, who are all over the back of him. 2 tenths between him and Bogdan, who's got that 3-second time penalty. And I've seen Curse go off track 2 or 3 times, so he's going to have multiple warnings as well. Close to a penalty is the Haas driver. On lead.
I think penalties will definitely have some sort of influence toward the end of the race if it's going to be this close. We have quite a few little groups of drivers, and Curse again powering to the inside of the straight to try and get as little bit of that slipstream given to Bogdan. And I think Bogdan already is passed under DRS, so Bogdan back in the lead, Curse back into P2. But will Curse try and get him back? If he gets a good exit on those medium tires, he might be able to get Bogdan back. Let's see here. And I don't think he is close enough. No, he isn't. Stays behind. Going into Sector 2, into the S's. Still fighting very closely. Packs at the back. There's a pack of Wimpy, Pixel and Larson. Those three are quite close together, all within a second of each other. We have quite...
I mean, Bance has done very well. Bance up in 5th on the hard tyres. He's going to the end. So he's in, what, net P3 at the minute? He started down in like 15th, 16th. So Bance is doing quite well.
It depends if he is in net P3. Depends on what the strategy is of the guys in front. If they want to stretch their tires to the end, then he might still be able to overtake them towards the end if he will be quicker.
See, I think the hards will struggle to go to the end. Now you've said it. If I'm Curse right now, I think he boxes now. I think he's been racing these hard tyres the last few laps. If they struggle to do, what, 20, 22 laps, whatever it was, if they're going to be even worse. The condition now is going to be dreadful. So surely you pit now. Their tyres going to be really dead towards the end. You're going to be on fresh mediums to gain as much time as you can. Take advantage of the fact you're racing them. As he's actually looking for a move. Down the inside is Curse. Side by side into turn 1.
He is passed.
And he's into the lead
A little bit
again.
of oversteer, but keeps it in front. Now those guys in front will just keep changing position. And the one who overtakes in the last lap, I think, will be king here.
Ooh,
a little bit of a touch.
Curse saves it, nearly lost it there, and they're
They're going
wide.
3 wide into the S's.
Oh.
And I think Curse ends up in P3 as both Williams overtook him.
Legend
Still
gets the
going
double
side
move.
by side. Alexander was the fastest lap on the mediums.
They're all on track still. 3 wide into that turn, and they all walked out of it. That's impressive, but Legend gets the double moved. He's into the lead. Bogdan made a little bit of contact with Curse, and that left him more vulnerable to the Williams. That was a very nice move from Legend. Curse down to 3rd.
So another bit of intel is Wimpy's tires after 8 laps are at 30% wear. And he is on the medium compound. So
And that's only 8 laps.
that's only 8 laps.
Oh, it's one of the Mercedes in the background spun. I think that's Pandy again. Has spun at the same turn he did earlier on in the race. He's now back down to 7th, and his tyres will be nice and cooked on the rear. 11
Nice and
laps left to
crispy.
go. I think you can get those mediums to the end. Is Bogdan looking down the inside then of his teammate and Curse? Oh,
That's a little bit
very
of
late move.
potentially moving under braking. I'm not sure, I couldn't see it from a proper POV, but that was really late.
Yeah, Bogdan went for a really late move and Curse managed to avoid it. I don't know how, but he did. Maintaining their positions for now. If they're 30% after 8 laps, they're going to be about 60% after 16. And they've still got 11 laps left to go. They're going to be very close to Puncher if they do go towards the end. And with the fact that he's been fighting Curse for the first spot, I don't think his tyres are going to be in the best shape to go to the end.
It's definitely, this fight at the top is definitely gonna be one that we'll have to watch all the way to the end. But technically, Curse should be quicker on those mediums, but it doesn't really look like it. Maybe it's because he doesn't really get the chance to try and pull a gap, because the Williams are just sticking within his DRS and keep attacking him. But
Yeah,
then
all the moves he's having to do and all the defensive driving, his tyres are probably just so hot, and he's probably just struggling to get, like you said, some air where he can just drive and not worry about the car behind him.
now Bans is really on the gearbox of Pondweed. If he can get a good exit here, this might be opportunity to strike, but I think Bans is just really saving his tires, saving his DRS, saving his fuel in the DRS of Pondweed, not interested in making a move. Now Pandakoi overtaking Mali on the straight, Mali trying to get back at him a little bit. They touch wheels a little bit, but Pandakoi stays ahead, so Pandakoi back into P6. Not many moves going on behind that.
It looks like
But
Curse
fight
is
at
starting
the
to drop
top.
off the pack as well, of the front guys. He's dropped down 7 tenths. So maybe now struggling on those tyres, even though they're only 10 laps old.
The Williams guys might be working together a little bit, both using ERS, trying to pull themselves ahead out of the DRS of Curse in the Haas.
With Pondweed starting to get caught up by Bants as well, maybe that does just show that the hards have a lot more pace compared to those mediums. If Pondweed's starting to get caught up and Curse is starting to drop off, maybe that just shows that the pace is dropping off and they're going to have to pit soon if they can't get those to the end. 10 laps left to go.
I definitely think at this time the hards might be just a wee bit quicker than the mediums. And that's why we see
within
that
2
pace
tenths.
difference.
He's very close to Pondweed. Will probably go for a move on this lap. He's got all the ERS in the world. He can use everything he's got here. Well, he doesn't really need to. He'll probably get past anyway with the DRS.
There he is,
He is
overtake button
boosting.
enabled.
Oh, and
Pondweed
it looks like
deciding
a
to
spin
box.
in sector 3. Suika, the spun, touched the curb, and that's bounced up to P4. Pondweed into the pits. for medium tyres. Decides he doesn't want to go softs for 9 laps. And he comes out.
In
So he's
P10
going to
currently.
come out in P11.
And he does in P11. So he might still be able to overtake Futuristic.
Still on the back of these front 2 Williams. Who, I mean, Bogdan's using all of his ERS to maintain his gap here as we have another spin in sector 3. I think that's the house of Kalkenman, who's getting very unlucky at the minute from the looks of it. With all the curbs.
Of course, Bahrain is a track where tire temperatures, tire degradation is really a big factor. So I'm not surprised that we have quite a few spins, but then again, it's really suboptimal for the drivers. This is a really hard track to manage your tires to be at optimal operating temperatures and speed. So I think a lot of drivers will tend to go for the easier strategies, such as the medium hard, which much of them didn't do. But then the soft hard is not really a strategy where you really have to save your tires. You can pretty much just box pretty early and still make it to the finish line.
I think Kurse is not trying to fight anymore. I think he's just trying to get his tyres to the end. That's why he's just sitting behind a little bit in the cooler air, just using the DRS and just following the 2 Williams ahead. Because I can guarantee you those Williams will start fighting each other towards the end. Well, Bogdan does have a penalty, so he might just go for the 1-2 with Legend and let him take it. But we will see.
Ideally, the Williams just want to pull out of that 1 second of Curse and the Haas. Then they can just start pulling each other up to the front and making a little bit of a gap. And now Larson is pretty close to Pixel. So Larson on the hards catching Pixel, who's also on the hards. Larson stars are 1 lap fresher. Shouldn't be that much of a difference yet. But it might be a factor towards the end. The Pixel did have a better exit. So
Larson also has the
catching
DRS, so he might be able to pull himself into Pixel a lot quicker as well.
Now that Aston Martin looks really stunning under all these lights. That green looks really nice.
I think that Aston Martin would be the nicest car ever if the pink line was lime green.
I personally,
I
really
moved for the
like
lead
the
here.
pink.
Legend looking down the inside into turn 1 on Bogdan. Bogdan doesn't fight it, lets him go. And I think now Legend will take the lead and use all of his ERS to now help the other Williams driver pull away. Unless Bogdan looks for a move here, which he doesn't. So 50% ERS there for Legend to pull his teammate along with him. But into the lead goes Legend.
That might have been team orders right there. Just Legend saying, I can go quicker. If you let me in front, I'll pull you up. Because I can see you're
Bogdan was
struggling.
using all of his ERS on the 3-4 laps in front, so I wonder if he was using everything he had on the straights, letting Legend use the DRS behind, and then when he ran out, they'll switch around and just pull each other through. Well, I mean, they've made up that gap now to Curse. Curse's tyres filling off massively. Looks like he's really struggling. He's looking really slow all of a sudden.
Yeah, I think Curse's tires are really starting to come to that point where they are dropping off quite significantly. And there's a sector 1 yellow flag. I think that's McCalkman.
Yeah,
who just reset the track.
Yeah, he's done it a few times.
Spun. So it's really been a pretty bad race for him, all the way down to P16. And now Simsaurus overtaken by Suika. I think Simsaurus is still not connected to the lobby.
Yeah, I don't think he's coming back. But Larson's right on the back of Pixel. He's not using any boost, just using the DRS to pull himself in. They might be working together just to catch up to these guys in front with the penalties. There'll be 3 positions for both of them then.
Let's actually have a look at the penalties, as Larsen made a little bit of a mistake, but kept it on the track. So all the time penalties are 3 seconds, besides McCalkman, who has 11.
Yeesh. I mean, Futuristic also right on the back of Pondweed here. They did make a bit of contact into turn 4. Obviously, Pondweed has just pitted for fresher tyres. He's trying to catch up to the grid in front with 6 laps left to go. The 2 Williams have made their gap. I think it's too late for Kurse to pit now. He'll have to go to the end if he wants to get anything out of this race now.
He will definitely lose a lot of positions if he would box now. I think he would come down all the way to P12 if he would box now. So that's definitely something that he doesn't want. He's dropping down so far from P3.
Yeah, definitely a strategy miscall if he does end up having to pit. And it looks like Wimpy's pitting. His tyres can't go any further. I wonder... They're not changing the wing. He's onto the softs. So Wimpy's going onto the softs. 5 laps left to go. He'll go for the fastest lap.
I think the fastest lap is currently for Alex. Let's have a look. That would be... fastest lap is currently for Alex with a 27.8. Which he has done on a medium, so I assume it's very beatable on the soft tire compound.
You would hope so. Vance isn't really catching up to Kurse. Kurse has dropped 3 seconds to the Williams up in front, so he is just tyre managing now. 5 laps left to go. And I'm guessing towards the end of the race he will have to push if he wants to gain on Bogdan to get that 2nd place. Obviously he has got that penalty, so Bogdan needing to make that gap with Legend.
Now Pandakoi is actually catching to Bans quite a bit. He has the DRS of Bans, he's 6 tenths behind. I don't think that's close enough to pull in and overtake him. Even though this is a very long straight, the drivers are running quite a bit of aero. He's getting closer, he might make a move, and the Pandakoi side by side with Bands. On the apex they are still side by side. It looks like Pandakoi has to back out, Bands stay in front, but now Pandakoi has the DRS again, and I think this is where he will make his move. Bands going down the inside, staying defensive, side by side on the exit. They're still going side by side into the S's. Still side by side in the S's, and I think that's Pandakoi through. No, they're still side by side. Band's still holding that position. They're still going side by side into the hairpin. And now Pandakoi is passed. But now Bands will have the DRS.
Both respecting each other, giving them all this, just the right amount of space. But Bands, like you said, will have the DRS now. He's going to push to try and get that position back.
Actually, Mali now going down the inside. Mali down the inside of Bands. They're going side by side on the exit. And Bands stays ahead for now. Mali didn't have enough speed to make that move done. So he'll probably try on the straight again.
Larsen got ahead of Pixel on the main straight as well whilst we were watching that fight. And Pondweed and Futuristic still fighting for 10th. Even though Pondweed's on those fresher tyres, he can't break the DRS to Futuristic. Futuristic is giving him a lot of pressure.
Now I don't think anyone here will make an overtake. And Ban's trying to go around the outside of Pandakoi actually. So that's an interesting way to try that overtake. But now I think Mali had the better exit. He might have had a better exit, but I think Bans is boosting, diving down the inside. Mali is. Little bit of a touch. Wimpy now setting the fastest lap. 27.6. So Mali tried to make a move down the inside of Bans. Didn't make it stick. Touched a little bit on the rear wheel. So he wasn't quite there yet. Now Pandakoi pulling quite a bit of a gap on Bans. That's almost a second. Mali almost losing it. And then Pixel and Larsen are still quite close together. Pixel barely has a DRS. And I don't think we will see any exchanges at the front anymore. of positions.
Yeah, I think Bogdan's safe now from the penalty. I think Legend's just gonna keep driving at home. I don't think Bogdan's gonna get past Legend, and getting a 3-second gap is just not worth the fight. That could throw away everything. But you can really see Cursor struggling for pace here now. He's dropped a lot to the front ones. His tyres are nearly dead. There's 2 more laps to go. He's got the Mercedes behind him, 2 seconds. So still not within the DRS, but once they are in the... Oh, and he nearly loses it. Curse a bit too eager on the throttle and sent his car nearly sideways there. He just lost another half a second there, which isn't going to help him at all when it comes to these last 2 laps. Those tyres will already be on edge, and he's now going to have to try and defend off the 3 cars behind him who are all already fighting each other, all eager to get past.
I think he is really trying to just milk those tires back home, because they really don't look nice to drive anymore. He's sliding all over the place on the exits. I don't think he has a lot of grip mid-corner, so this is going to be... He's really going to have to keep Pandakoi behind him as well as he possibly can. Pandakoi almost in the DRS.
He is now within the DRS, and I'm looking at this freeway battle for 9th as well. Alexander's caught up to Futuristic, and Futuristic's racing Pondweed, so a little freeway battle here for P9.
Alex a little bit wonky on the exit there. A bit of a slide. He keeps it straight.
We're now going onto the main straight. Curse has got all the people behind him, as Bogdan's actually looking... He was looking down the inside of Legend there, but backs off. So Pandakoi now has the DRS on Curse. He's going to look down the inside. Curse isn't even fighting it. He knows his tyres are close to the end and doesn't want to risk anything else. He is still there though, down the inside.
So Pandakoi up to podium positions. Now that was quite scary for Bance, but Bance making the move stick. He's into P4 now. Now will he be able to overtake Pandakoi for the podium? Pandakoi has almost 0 ERS. You can see he's trying to recharge as much of it as possible in the sector. And I think that's Pondweed and Futuristic going side by side. Futuristic got a 3-second time penalty from that.
Yeah,
so I
Pondweed
think he might have 6 seconds.
And then Futuristic went off the track to get past. And
Alex down the inside. And then the switchback of Dreams from Futuristic. Futuristic going side by side with Alex. And they're going side by side still, and Pondweed spins.
Pondweed touched the curb and died, but into turn 1 he got pushed off by Futuristic, and then it was just mayhem after that into the DRS zone. But Pondweed now has lost everything that he had there after touching that curb. So Alexander up into 9th.
Pondweed left the session. And
that's
the two Red
Wimpy's
Bulls
actually
are
now.
close together.
Yeah, Wimpy's now on the back of Pondweed. Looks like Futuristic actually let him go. Pondweed on the last lap here can get Alexander. I'm not sure what the penalties are. They're both on 3 seconds, so it is fight for position here between Alexander and Wimpy for that extra point.
That's going to be interesting, and I think there is a move. Band's trying to go around the outside of Wimpy again.
Mali's going slow.
Oh, Mali has no front wing.
Mali's crashed on the straight. I think he's gone for a move on Curse and a bit of contact. He's gone into the wall on the last lap, and he's dropped down to 8th. He was up in 5th.
Now that is something. Oh, he has a puncture as well. He has a puncture.
The third, Pandy and Bant's a bit of contact. Bant's looking down the inside. Oh, all over each other. Bant's now looking around the outside. Thinks he's still going. He's going to go side by side. Oh, on the rear, stepping out a little bit there.
So Mali has a puncture on his rear left tire, I believe that is.
Wimpy and Alexander side by side into the S's. Wimpy, oh, I can't tell if this.
Oh, there's Wimpy goes. Wimpy is spun.
Didn't give me a camera. I couldn't see any of that. But Alexander looks like he's just didn't leave enough space for Wimpy, and a spin for Futuristic as well. Futuristic spun on the exit of that turn. Can Mali stay in the points of no wing? Futuristic touched the inside of the curb. Both the Red Bulls spinning. As
now Bance is actually in P3. Bance is defending his podium right now. As they're going side by side into the last corner. Bance is going to give it all. Let's go on board with Pandakoi. Pandakoi cannot make it stick. So it's Bance in P3. Curse 21 laps on those mediums is in P6.
It looks like Mali with no wings spun. Oh, he was in P9, but he spun on the end of Sector 2. Legend wins the race with his teammate in second. A good fight for third and fourth, but Bance managed to get it off.
Mali retired, and that's Suitka spinning into the wall. He went into the wall on the last lap, on the other hairpin there in Sector 2. Lost his end plate.
As Alexander gets 8th, Futuristic slows down to let Wimpy get 9th. Ponweed then going to cross in 11th. He won't be too happy after the contact he had earlier. And Mali, so unlucky. He was up in like 5th place. Just something happened on that straight. I don't know what happened. I think he did just get a puncher. He might have just got a puncher and gone into the wall. Maybe we'll have to get him in for an interview and ask. But that's so unlucky for Mali as he DNS from this race. What a fight on the last few laps. Obviously, I probably don't sound too energetic, but it's because I'm not very well. But what a battle on that last lap as McKinley crosses the line for 12th.
And now we have 2 more cars that we're waiting for to finish. That's the Ferrari of Simsores and the Alfa Romeo of Suica. And they both finished the race. Suica jumping Simsores in the end. What a race it has been.
Yeah, that was incredible. Congrats to the 2 Williams drivers. Obviously, some interesting moves earlier on with them and Curse. A lot of, like you said, I think some moving under braking. Hopefully that'll be. Hopefully we won't see too much of that again, because that got very dangerous. But congrats to the Williams drivers, who I think it was Legend took the win. Wait for it to load. I think it was Legend.
It is Legend in P1 with Bogdan in P2 and Bans in P3.
Congrats to Bans. What I told you, the medium runners at the start. That'd be good if they get up the field, and Bans just did it perfectly. Some good racing at the end as well between him and Panda. And I mean, fair play to Panda. He spun 3 or 4 times this race and still managed to get 4th, which is a very good drive. Curse getting those mediums to the end as well in 5th. Last and 6th, Pixel 7th. Alexander getting 8th in the end after that spin. The 2 Red Bulls both spinning as well. Ponweed 11th. Mankey, I'd give up on that name. 13th, 12th. 12th, I can't say it, it just doesn't come out. Suka 13th, Simsaurus 14th, Mali 15th after that. Very unlucky puncher, I think, on the straight, which put him into the wall. But yeah, a very, very entertaining race.
It really was. It was great fun, and now I think we will move on to the interviews. If there will be any people wanting to do interviews. Alright, so I'm just gonna have a little ask in the chat.
I'll put a message in the general chat before if you want an interview. See if anyone joins in the next minute or so. Who would you say is your driver of the day?
I would say Bans definitely is up there. He started P15 and ended up on the podium.
I'll agree with you.
So gaining
that podium on the last lap
so
as well.
many positions. Yeah, the move for the last thing as well.
I think I agree. We'll go Bans for the driver of the day then. There is Curse in there for an interview. I'll move him in if it lets me do so. There we go. Hello, Mr. Curse. Wow, what a race. Congrats on P5 on some dead mediums. I don't know how you got on that far. A good fight for a podium off the start, and then just a few mistakes because of the dead tyres put you down to 5th. But just run us through how your race went.
Yeah, I don't know. Qualifying, same as always, not strong. But then in the race, I picked the soft tyres because I wanted to make as much positions as possible on the softs. I was surprised. I think I overtook like 4 people on the start into turn 1, and then from there was a whole lot of carnage, like people spinning around me and stuff. So that put me, I think, into P4. So all I had to do was try. So I had to try trail them, but then that was too hard for me. And then the safety car came, and I don't know. I think the medium choice is the best I could have probably done, because if I was on the hards, I think I would have just been eaten up by Legend and Bogdan throughout the race. And also, I've made a bit of a mistake with I underfueled a bit too much. So at the end, I was mainly going slow for the fact that I was trying to save fuel, but nothing was like working. So that's probably why I was like getting caught up so quickly.
yeah, it's hard to save fuel in this game. If there's not a safety car, then I think it's nearly impossible to do so. But, I mean,
Yeah.
there's some good racing between you and the front too. A lot of, I think it's like 5 or 6 laps there where they were just changing the first. But
Yeah.
overall, very, very entertaining race. I mean, unlucky I'm not getting that podium, but I think just the underfueling thing then might have been the reason why. I don't know if Vito has any questions or anything.
Not really. I think you've really gone over it all. But yeah, you kept it really well on those mediums, even though you dropped down to, I believe, P5 towards the end. We could see that the mediums didn't feel perfect towards the end, but how many % were you on, if you remember by any chance, of tire
I
wear?
think I checked lap 26, I think it was. I think I was on like 62% or something like that. So
Yeah. So
it
it's
was
Not the cleanest of tires.
yeah.
What do you have any idea what happened to Mally?
I think he said he had a
think-
puncture.
Because I don't think me and Vito saw it, but we just saw it, a Ferrari in the wall on the main straight, no wing.
Yeah,
So,
I think I said it that he got a puncture and had a broken wing. I think he had a left rear puncture.
That is
Yeah.
very unlucky from him. Well, congrats on 5th place. I guess we'll see you in Tier 3 on Tuesday in
Yeah.
Spain.
And give me my money as well.
No, we don't talk about that one.
Okay.
Well, I don't think there's anyone else for interviews, so if you want to wrap up here, I guess go for it.
Yeah, I think we will just wrap it up here. So thank you everyone for watching. We will hopefully see you back tomorrow with Tier 1, the main attraction, of course. That's gonna be at, let me actually check what time that's gonna be at. It should be at 19:30, I think, CEST. It's at 18:30 CEST, so excuse me, it's gonna be a little bit earlier. Tier 1, of course, the best of the best from 2S. Hopefully it's gonna be an exciting race, and hope to see all of you there. Anything to add, Owen?
No, well, sorry for all the issues. I hope you enjoyed the race, and we'll see you guys tomorrow for Tier 1.